I can tell you right now. I mean, I love every generation for their own thing, and I'm still kind of hung up on the C7. But I'll tell you right now, there's no better driving than the C8.
I know.
It is so smooth. It is such a comfortable car to drive. I mean, and the power, especially on the low end, is so clean and so good and so fast. I mean, it really is truly epitomized what Corvette has done for a long time, that bang for the buck. You're getting a supercar for bang for the buck. It's been that for a long time, but I think what it is because this is such a fresh redesign. It's mid-engine now. It just screams new exotic. You know, Corvette's been a domestic exotic always, but again, still domestic. This thing really looks exotic. I mean, you know, especially when you compare other cars that are out there. I mean, you compare some other sharp angle exotics, it'll rival them on the parking lot idea with it. You get there, you look at these cars, and like, damn. Yeah. I mean, even Motor Trend, when they did that goofy World's Greatest Drag Race, you know, which they did two at a time, you know, when they raced against the Ferrari, they say if an alien was watching this, how it justifies this huge price difference. Because when you look at them, they look like they would be the same price. They're just both sick looking. Yeah. You know? And obviously, you've got the Z06 coming out, so that power problem is getting no more, you know, when it comes to against Ferrari.
I just hope that I know the Z06, but after that, I'm afraid everything's going to be electric, and that's going to be depressing.
Well, I'm already depressed because, as you know, one of those GM execs kind of let the cat out of the bag saying that Corvette, the C8, will finish with an all-electric variant. Now, will they actually do that? Who knows with everything going on? But if they actually do that, that means, unfortunately, our ZR1 Zora Special may be all-electric. It'll be 1,000 horsepower, but it's like...
It'll be like the Pininfarina. The Pininfarina is 1,000 horsepower, and it looks crazy.
We were all hoping... I mean, the timeline that we were all predicting was, okay, here you got your Stingray, you got your Z06, then you got your E-Ray, which is your all-wheel drive hybrid, but it would be, at least what we thought would be the LT2 power plant with the hybrid motor, splitting the difference between the Z06 and the Stingray. And then you'd have a ZR1, which would be like the Z06, a rear drive, probably a twin turbo motor, and then a ZR1 Zora Special, which is kind of weird because ZR1 stands for Zora Race 1, but anyway. Then that would be the hybrid. So like essentially a ZR1 E-Ray, if you will, a 200 horsepower electric motor and an 800 horsepower twin turbo V8, and you'd have 1,000 horsepower, and that'd be Corvette's first official hypercar in production. You know,
see, and I had heard about that a couple of years ago.
And that was what we were all hoping for, at least a lot of us, since we knew the all-wheel drive was coming, and now it's official. The E-Ray is going to be all-wheel drive. But it's like, okay, so they're going to go all electric, so we're going to have an all-wheel drive electric?
No.
It's just not going to... It's going to be fast as hell. I mean, it's not going to... I mean, like even that new Blazer SS coming out, we know that's going to be a stupid fast SUV, but when you have an all-electric, it doesn't have a soul.
That's right.
These cars should keep a soul.
You got to want to drive it, and that's only driving quickly for a minute.
I understand why they are not investing in hydrogen. You can keep a clean burning, spontaneous combustion engine with all the sound and all the perks, and still be good for the environment. And hydrogen is so much cleaner than all of it because you don't have to dig up all the elements and like you do with it. You have to do strip mining to get all the elements for batteries. It's not really that good for the environment.
It's
really
not.
Isn't. And the amount of money
not the way it's being touted.
No. I mean, when we invent fusion technology, it makes more sense, but we're not there yet. So, I mean, to me, Dodge, to their credit, they announced they're investing in hydrogen. So they're going to keep their muscle cars. You know what that tells me? They're keeping their V8s. They're going to keep the sound, the noise, the American spirit. Chevy should at least consider keeping their Cadillac V-Series and their Corvettes as a hydrogen with the noise, with all the sound, and the hydrogen's clean, and it's a lot easier to get.
That way you have that soul that you were talking about, because it's soulless.
Exactly, and it can be hybrids. Because
I'm okay with that.
Hybrids are fine. I mean, that's fine. I mean, it'd be nice to have the option.
I'm looking to have two hybrids.
I would rather, personally, if it between I know it's coming up, you question E-Ray versus Z06, I'm a Z06.
Same.
All day long. I'd rather have a motor. I don't need a battery. But the hybrids are still cool. All-wheel drive is pretty cool. I got an all-wheel drive truck.
They're super quick off the line.
It's stupid quick off the line. There's no doubt about it. That definitely, and not like these aren't. But I can only imagine. I mean, you see how fast these Teslas are.
I know. Like that Plaid is crazy.
Well, yeah. But again, you know, their monopoly on that's going away quick.
I know.
And even the Plaid ain't gonna outrun a Stingray. A Stingray still has a 30-mile-an-hour top end on it.
Exactly. It's just off the line.
It's off the line. It's different. You need what street speed has. You need 1,000 horsepower to match it.
Right.
I mean, with a gas motor.
But
it's
at the end of the
crazy.
day, I don't care. To me, it isn't necessarily always about speed. I want something that I like and makes me feel good.
Well, okay, take the Hummer.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike did his video on the Hummer recently, and so did Street Speed. I mean, that Hummer, it's electric, but even though it doesn't have the motor soul, everything else about it is a worthy generational 4 successor to the Hummer family.
Right.
I mean, it has got off-road capability, it's got racing capability, the technology's cool. The interior is this rough material that's almost reminds me almost like a military Humvee.
Right.
I mean, even though it's all decked out and fancy, I mean, that was smart. To me personally, to this day, I still think that's the best EV built.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, I drove it. It is awesome. It is so technologically loaded, but yet it's still it just reeks like a big American truck.
Right.
So it's possible they can do this.
Yeah.
So just like the Corvette, they can do it right. But to me, going all electric, I'm not for it.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm not either.
I'm out. It may be the way of the future, but I just wish they would prolong that as long as possible.
You need both.
Hydrogen is the way to go. It's a better way. You can keep the sound and still be clear.
Yeah, that's what we all want. It's not that we don't want the environment to be cleaner. We just want to have a car with a good engine and good sound.
People don't understand these modern cars for the last 15 years. Once they reach idle operating temperature, there's almost no pollution out of them. As long as all the safeties, all the the cats and everything are in place. So we're already clean.
Yeah.
I mean, cars don't sieve oil and dirty exhaust like they used to. Even I mean, just talk to the diesel guys, man. We're dealing with depth tanks. So it's not like they can't be clean, but it's it is what it is. I mean, we're gonna go down a rabbit hole we don't need to go down.
You can say that again.
But bottom line, while we got it, even if this is gonna be the last gas-powered Corvette, they're going out in a great way.
Yeah.
I know it's never been everybody sold on this look, but I can tell you, having driven every generation of Corvette, the driving characteristics of this car are phenomenal.
Yeah,
it is so comfortable, so smooth, but still maintaining everything you loved about.
When we took that one out, that white C8, oh my goodness, that car was amazing. It was.
They're so smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing you'd have to drive it to appreciate it. I think it's a lot of people, if you're not sold on the looks, I can tell you this, you would definitely be sold on driving it.
It took me a while to get sold on the looks. Now I love it. Like, I absolutely love it. But it took a long time.
We went through this with the C7, because the C7 was, people forget, that was a radical change.
Yeah.
They hadn't done a Stingray since '82. They hadn't done, tail lights like that before, and every single piece of that aero is functional. Well, the C8's no different. And that's what a lot of people can say. Okay, well, why can't they just make them circular or something? I get it, but you got to understand jagged, sharp angles. Is the way it is. What it is.
I know, and I've always been into that though. So for me, it wasn't that big a deal.
Generations have to evolve. I'm sure at some point they'll come back with round tail lights. They will. I mean, because think about it. They went away from them. The latter C4s were squared ovals. Yes. They went full oval with the C5. Then they took the C6. Well, they went away from it for a generation and a half. At some point
they'll come back. Exactly. They'll make their rounds.
And they'll be full LED, probably so bright it'll blind you. I mean,
look like Tron or something.
Those days are coming. I mean, there's what this proves to me is that GM's Corvette team has so much creative technological potential.
Right.
The fact that the Corvette plant is one of the most advanced production facilities in the world. I mean, and again, everybody's like, well, they've had some issues, blah blah. Well, every car does.
Right.
Even the hand-built cars have had problems. I don't hear about Corvettes revving a car and catching on fire in front of the camera for the whole world to see.
Yeah.
Lambo, sorry.
I know.
Sorry. So,
or McLaren just catches on fire regardless.
A McLaren 720S caught on fire, burned to the ground. I mean, that's awful.
Yep.
I mean, and that can happen. But again,
didn't Salamandrin or somebody have a whatever his name is he had gotten a brand new like P1 or a Senna or something immediately caught fire. I think it was a Senna.
I mean, that's awful, especially when you consider that kind of money.
Couple mil.
Anything man makes is flawed. I mean,
absolutely.
You gotta understand nothing is perfect, but if you look at Corvette's history, they've come so far. They've gotten so reliable, so shall we say easier to maintain than other exotic cars in its class. It's not even close. I mean, I would argue that even if you're not a Corvette guy, but you are an exotic car guy, you gotta give the C8 a chance. You got to. It is, even if okay, the old ones just didn't do it for you because you got to have that engine behind you. Well, it's there now. Try it. Just try it. Drive it. Rent one. Hertz and Enterprise have exotic rentals. You got to drive it.
Yeah.
I mean, you will be impressed. And now the tuning's out. I mean, for those of you that want to modify them, the tuning is now starting to come out. They finally cracked it.
About time.
I don't know how long it's going to last, but we got it.
Which, thank goodness.
So if you want more power on them, you can do it now without having to manufacture your own ECU. You thinking that, you know, we're getting to that point now.
Yeah.
We knew it would.
Yeah, well,
it's
yeah.
only a matter of time.
Technology, and then you get new technology to break somebody else's technology.
It just takes time, and that's why some people wait. You know, and I understand that they want to jump into them. 495 horsepower ain't enough for most. I know. And I don't blame them.
But see, these things, I get it, but these things are so quick that.
Well, think about it. I mean, off the line, a regular C8 Stingray Z51 is just as fast off the line as the 650 horsepower C7 Z06. Now the C7 Z06 will walk it in the quarter and top speed.
Exactly.
But the fact that they were able to do that, or even when they
had I can't say that I know from experience that that's true, but I can say that I know that that is true from experience.
Well, let me put it this way:
we always follow the rules.
Obviously, every race is subject to the driver.
Yeah.
Because
that's true. And
you got to know what you're doing.
Well, for me, my biggest problem in my Vette is getting traction. You know, when we're at the light, we're all spinning.
But that's why again, even when you think you're overmatched in a race, you never know what you're going to encounter because the human error is always there. And you got to launch it. And in a manual, it's all on you.
I won't use any names. It was not me. I swear to you, this I will say, but I don't want to say who it was. But we were all getting ready to, go the speed limit from the light one day. One of our friends decided to stall because he has a manual. It was quite funny. So we had to give him a little bit of a hard time about that. It was quite funny. Luckily, the guy behind him didn't run into him,
Well, there are some pretty infamous examples of people either hitting rev limiters and stalling, or it happens. I
actually had, so I was racing another Lambo on 635. We got to 55 for the video. But yeah, I hit the rev limiter and all of a sudden everything just kind of kicked off, man. I was like, what the heck? And I didn't realize.
I won't mention any names, but there's an infamous video of a 720S versus a ZR1. And it looked like that 720 annihilated that ZR1. And then when you listen, you can hear the rev limiter getting hit on every single shift.
Yep.
And that's why it looked like he got walked by 20 lengths.
Right.
But when you actually look at the numbers, they're only 3/10 apart in a quarter mile. One's a low 10s car, one's a high 9s car. And they both had the same top speed. So, I mean, they should have been like this.
Yeah.
But when you got somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, what are you gonna do?
I was that guy that one time. I wasn't paying attention because I was using the paddle shifters. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. It happens.
It happens. Hey, every race, you win by an inch or a mile. I mean, every race is a race. I mean, anything can happen. Surprise victories are common. That's why never count yourself out, because the driver can always make a mistake. The problem with the Tesla phenomenon and the computerized cars is the odds of making mistakes are slim and few now, because the computer's doing all the work.
Exactly. I know.
That's why if you have a stick and you can get your Z06 into the 10s, you're a pro. I mean, because because the best I've heard of is 10.9 out of a C7 Z06 with a stick. The automatic's faster,
right?
But it's a lot easier. If you can actually do it with the stick, man, you're a pro.
Which I will tell you, I switched mine out to the short throw, much better.
Well, but again, that's still technically a mod. But if you can do it stock,
then you are the man. I will tell you.
That's the kicker. Because there's always things you get an edge. I mean, you can easily get into 10s all day long with slicks.
Right.
Just slicks.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, slicks all day. I mean, you could a C7 01 and get into 9s all day long. Just slicks. That's all you got to do, and you're boom. You're gonna be in the 9s.
I know, because I know, like with the stock tires. Now, granted, mine are a few years old, so not going to stick the way they should.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sitting at the light spinning. I'm like, I should be flying by now, and I'm still just sitting here.
Yeah. As I understand it, I think if you put if you got the launch control with the mag ride and the Z51, if you throw slicks on a C8, it'll be in the high 10s all day, because it's already in the low 11s.
Yeah.
Without it.
Exactly.
So I don't see why, So if you want a 10s car, literally a set of tires.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
So, and I would tell you, and I was telling SuAnn earlier, and I know that the hypersonic gray isn't looked down upon, but I think this is an underrated color. I'm surprised there's not more of the hypersonic gray out there.
Well, again, what is it in the lineage of? We talk about color lineage.
Yeah, shark gray.
Shark gray.
Love shark gray.
That everybody wanted back.
Yes.
And we got it. I mean, it's a little lighter, but
it's the closest you're going to probably find without it being identical.
I mean, you look at that Z06, you look at this, they radiate the same kind of attitude. Yeah,
I need to go see my dad's. I haven't seen him in a few years. He got a Z06 shark gray, so manual, of course.
Yeah,
that's and that's why he doesn't want the C8. He's like, heck no. He goes, it's auto, right? I said, yeah. He goes, no. He goes, I'm good. I'm staying. Yeah. He's old school, He's like, heck yeah, I'm not buying that.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But those days are, we're losing them. Right now, the newest car you can get with the stick is either one of the Dodges or the Cadillac CT5B.
There's a Porsche or two that still has it. Oh, and I think
there are a few.
The Nissan?
But again, there's less and less and less.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, those things have gone by the wayside.
Now what you can.
Yeah.
Now what you can. Right now, just so everybody knows, I got a Z06 in a manual.
Yes.
I've got.
I think you have a Grand Sport or two, huh?
I don't have a Grand Sport in manual at the moment, but I do have. I got the Z06 and I got 2 Stingrays in manuals. I got this red one here, and I got the shark gray one on the window.
Yeah. Yeah, we walked a few of these and saw them because I always like to find the manuals because they are so rare.
Mm-hmm.
They're
becoming rarer because people are hanging on to them now.
Exactly. Like, I'm not looking to sell mine either. Yeah. I'm gonna.
And that one over there, when you do get to it, I mean, I'm actually shocked that one's still set around because that one's
the shark gray.
Yeah,
I have that one in
loaded 2LZ.
Yep.
Got the comp seats in the manual.
Those comp seats are. I love.
I know some people aren't a fan of the silver wheels, but the great thing about silver wheels are the EDC wheel to get powder coated.
See, but I like that. Like, if I have that, I'm not changing it. No,
there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's a cool look. I think it's old school.
If I wasn't doing yellow on the C8, I would have that color. I would do the silver wheels. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's. But again, everybody has their flavor. For whatever reason, I don't know why that car fell through the cracks, but if you're watching this video, get it now while you can because they are going away fast. Yeah, they are be less and less and less out there.
It looks really good. So, well, I think I'm going to wrap this video up right here.
All right.
But absolutely, man.
Again,
thank you. So we tell Robert thanks. Always has a wealth of knowledge. If I ever don't know anything, I go find Robert. Hey, what was the deal with this? And he always knows.
And also, obviously, shout out to my partner SuAnn.
Yes.
And the rest of the team.
Where is she at? We're going to get her. I'm going to add her in. I'll probably put her in the beginning. But we're going to put her in the video as well. But man, I feel like you need a shirt that says Corvette Encyclopedia. That would fit for you.
Nah, that one right there is fine for me.
Corvette World. There we go. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. Man, I hope everybody had a great. We had a great time. I know I did. I know Robert had a great time. We appreciate you guys for watching. Have a great week. Peace.